Hello everybody, this is Fronito Bobbin here, and welcome back to Train Sim World, where today we will be continuing on with some more, well, stuff here in Train Sim World 5, although once again taking a little bit of a detour from the American freight routes yet, although we'll still be driving a freight train today. Yeah, so what are we doing today then? Well, today we're changing things up a little bit, and instead we'll be driving a British train, yeah, on a British route, so yeah, I've done a lot of American stuff lately here on Train Sim World. Well, it's time to change up and do something British, because I'm actually a really big fan of UK trains, actually. So yeah, like the British, although it's still gonna be a British freight train for those, and I know much you guys like your freight train, so yeah, here's a British freight train here in Train Sim World. And this is actually something I actually kind of teased last time, because on the last Train Sim World 5 video, we of course played the Cane Creek Railroad, which was of course a route that was developed by Skyhook Games. Well, today we're continuing on with the Skyhook theme. Yeah, so what we're doing then? Well, as you see here, yeah, today we are playing on the Midland Mainline, the only British route made by Skyhook Games. Although we'll be playing a scenario, though that doesn't come with the roll, they have to get a separate pack for this, as this is part of the Cargo Line Volume 1 add-on. Yes, we're playing a standalone DLC, which is complementing a route that we have here in Train Sim World. More specifically, this is the Cargo Line Volume 1 Petroleum Pack, which focuses mainly on, well, tanker duties. Meant to get 2 scenarios with it, and the scenario that we will be doing is the this one here, the 6M49 grain oil terminal to siphon siding. So yeah, this is what the scenarios they get with the Cargo Line Volume 1 pack. The scenarios they get will actually go for 2 different routes, though. There's also some scenarios over for the Great Western Express route, although that route still is yet to receive its remaster, so I decided that we're going to do the Midland Mainline because this route is more recent, so it's built up to a higher standard. And the engine that we'll be running for today is the Class 66 in the EWS livery, a very widely used locomotive on freight trains in the UK, and of course here it is in this pack, so yeah. Alright then, so yeah, CM49 Grain Oil Terminal Sidings. Having completed the majority of its journey up from Kent, drive the final portion between Leicester and Derby along the Midland Mainline. Yes, it's pronounced Derby, not Derby, so yeah. And yeah, here's about the Midland Mainline. We're actually doing the most of the road, actually, we're going all the way down here, and we're going all the way up here to the Derby. I'm not sure what's up here, but yeah, so yeah, we're actually driving a pretty good majority of the route. And it's also a pretty high speed route, so we should be able to hit some high speed as well, though I say high speed. Well, it's a freight train, so we're not be able to go as fast as the HST or something like that, but yeah, we'll still be able to hit a pretty decent speed here in this route. So I guess so there's safe for the intro, so let's get into the scenario itself. Alright, here we are. Scenario, grain oil terminal to siphon sidings. And we're in the cab of the train. Okay. Alright, welcome aboard 6M49, currently set at Leicester. It's been a good run from Kent so far, so hope it remains that way. Hopefully we'll on a pleasant run to Derby. Okay, so are they going to walk us through the setup? I'm not sure. Anyway, here's our engine for the day, the Class 66. Alright, so before we do that, I'm going to do something a bit of interesting. We're going to turn on the AWS because, oh, it's already on. Oh, okay, fair enough. Alright, let's get this thing up and running. Alright. And to ensure it's ready. Well, I think it is. I guess turn on the... Actually, most of the set up, actually. Not really much of a setup here, then. Okay. I'm hoping this is all set and ready to go as well. I don't really want to have to go into here. Alright. Oh no, we're starting... Okay, we're starting all the way in the south and the road heading north. Okay, that's fine. Ah, that's a Class 4 HT departing. Yeah, look at that. HST, I love the HST. Oh, it's actually arriving. Or is it arriving or is it departing? Can't tell, it's going very slow. Nice, it's arriving. Alright then. Yeah, listen to that VP185 motor. Yeah. And over here we also have the Class 158, the other diesel train in this route, and as I say, this one's actually just departing now. Yeah, Class 158 diesel hydraulic. Alright. I guess another HC arriving in a bit. Oh, hold up. There's also a Class 37 here saying that. Oh, that's the Rail Operations Group one. Huh. Didn't expect to see those here. Neat. Yeah, I have that one installed. I don't know why I haven't installed, but I guess it's neat either way, so yeah. Anyway, yes, welcome to the Midland Mainline. And this is about to actually have quite a bit of experience on Axe. I've actually driven this one a few times before. I actually drove the HC when it was new, because of course I did, because I'm a big fan of high-speed trains, and HC is a train I'm a very big fan of, actually, with it being the first, I guess the first high-speed train in Britain that wasn't a steam engine, so, yeah. Was that the first time? I'm not too sure, but yeah. The Class 43 HST, very iconic train in Britain. Ah, he's departing as well. Okay. Well, I guess we're waiting a few minutes till ready for departure. Take a look at our own train then. So we have a Class 66. And we also have a train of tankers. Mostly blue tankers, but we also have a couple gray ones as well. Nice. Okay. Oh, we got a description here. The train consists of 16 tanks weighing... Oh, I couldn't read the whole thing. Alright, well, hope you guys were able to read that, so... Yeah. And there goes the HST. And I guess now we're ready for departure, although we still have a red light coming up, so I think it's all, yeah. I'm gonna go on the brakes, though. Okay, let's switch them fully. Okay, now brake current's coming down. And we should be able to depart. Alright, here we go, then. Come on. Oh, here we go again. With the brakes. Alright, what's going on? Are the brakes not cut in? No, I guess not. I thought it was going to walk us through that, though. Okay, so as the HST departs, yeah, I am now back. And yeah, for a second week in a row, we have a braking issue. Yeah. Oh, here we go, guys, for this time. The train consists of 16 tanks weighing 1,945 tons. We'll be traveling on the slow lines for as far as Radcliffe Junction. You're cleared to depart. Okay, so, yep, as there goes the HST in the distance. And yeah, it turns out that the reason why the train was taking off was actually a lot more simple. You just gotta wait a little bit. Yep, there we go. Yeah, it turns out all you did was just wait a little bit, because what I did was that I released the brakes right when the light turned yellow, but then I forgot, oh, there's a freight train, which means the brakes take forever to release. So, yeah, if you play this scenario, what I actually recommend doing is actually releasing the brakes right when you get in, the train will actually stay stationary, and then the brakes will be fully released once you eventually depart. So, yeah, here we go then. Ooh, got an HT arriving. Yeah. Alright. So here we are, then on the move on the Midland Mainline. Yes! Well, not a very big portion of the Midland Mainline, but the Midland Mainline nonetheless. And yeah, as you talk about the branding and everything, yes, we are indeed in the Midlands of the UK. Yes, indeed we are. Yeah, a lot of rail operates group for 7. Yeah, I guess that's if you get the, that DLC item, which is neat. Yeah. Alright, cool. I'm a bit quiet. I might turn up volume a bit, but let's see how loud is when I make to get to speak here. So yeah, the Midland Mainline. This is actually the oh no, I've actually played Horseshoe before this one way back when that came out. But yeah, Midland Mainline. Yeah, that's actually the third and actually the most recent route that Skyhook actually made. Although there's something actually said something a little bit incorrect in the in last week's video. Technically, Skyhook have actually made 4 routes for Trains of Worlds. The other route being the Holiday Express add-on. Although I don't really count that as a route though per se. It's mainly just kind of like a fun little thing. And by the way, if you would actually like to see me play the Holiday Express route, I've actually done a full live stream on it where I play all of the scenarios, make up the full storyline. So yeah, if you want to see me play that, then you can check that out. And yeah, I've actually initiated a bit of a Skyhook trilogy, because yeah, last week we took a look at the Cane Creek River route, and now here we are checking out the Midland Mainline as well as the Cargo Line Pack, which are both Skyhook products. And next week, well, okay, not next week, but on the next Traceable video, we will be taking a look at the Push Curve route. So yeah, we'll do the Sky product. So yeah, Sky is getting a lot of coverage on this channel, aren't they? I think the horn of this thing as well. And in terms of my personal experience in this route, I've actually driven it a few times, like I mentioned. I got it right when it came out because of the HST. I really wanted to drive the HST on this route because we really don't have much to do with the HST, you know, here in Train Sim World. I mean, there was also the Great Western HST for the Great Western route thing, you know, from London to Reading. But I don't really drive that route ever because it's old and bad and everything. And like I said, that route is supposed to be getting a remaster, and I mean, the remaster is currently in development, but when's it coming? Who knows at this point. And like I said, regarding the Great Western route, some of the Crooked Line scenarios are actually available for that route, but like I said, I don't want to play the route yet because I want to wait till the remaster comes out. And I figured I would play this route because, like I said, this route more recent because as you know, the original Great Western Express route came out all the way back in 2017. Yeah, all the way back in 2017, way back in the early days of Train Sim World. Whereas this one came out a lot later in 2023, by the time that standards had risen quite a bit. And looks like we're chasing yellows. Great. Oh. I want to rev the engine, though. Saying that, I'm going to have to slow down here because the light is red, although I don't think I'll have to stop for said red. Or do I? Oh, maybe I do because there's a commuter train in front. Of course. Of course there is. We couldn't just have a simple run to Derby. No, we have to have a commuter train, a stop-start commuter train in front of us, because of course we do. Isn't that just lovely? Let's do a flyby then, just real quick. Just going at a pretty decent speed here. Well, 35 miles per hour, but that's still not bad. Yeah. How about it? And you actually get 5 different liveries for the tanker. I think the most common one is actually the blue one here, but if you look up on the Train Sim World wiki page, there's actually multiple different liveries of the tanker wagon. More specifically, this is the TEA tank wagon. I'm not sure if this has been featured in any other routes, or if this is just a suit to this pack, but there you go. Yeah, so as far as I've driven this, I've driven the, wait, was that the Visions pedal? Wait, I want to turn that off. Wait, is the, the AWS and... Okay, whatever. That's will do. But yeah, I've driven the HTC, of course. I've also driven the 158 on this route as well. I've also driven some of the layers. Some of them are actually kind of creative. There's the, there's actually a service they can do with the LMS steam engines if you get the West Cornwall local pack. You can drive the, do a couple steam engine services on this route, which is pretty neat. I'm not sure other services, though, you can do this route. I haven't actually done this route in a long while, though. Although there's also services where you can drive the Rail Operations Group Class 37, hauling along some of the Electro Stars, which is another service that I did way back when this route first came out. So there's some pretty neat service variety here on this route. Although eventually, of course, it gets boring, like with every route. You know, I did eventually get tired of this route, and yeah, I haven't played this route in a long while. Although I did recently, I say recently, not too long, well, okay, last year, for my birthday, I actually decided to drive the HT on this route because I said, you know what, it's my birthday, so I figured I would drive all high-speed trains, because my high-speed trains are my favorite type of train, and like I said, this is the only route where the HT is actually, like, decent quality, because, like I said, there's the GWR HST as well, but like I said, that one's old and everything, and again, I am waiting on that route to receive its remastered, but it doesn't come out yet, so Yeah, so for right now, if I'm gonna drive the HT, I'm gonna drive the Midland Mainline one or the East Midlands Trains one because that one is done to a higher standard, whereas the WL one is, well, like I said, it's old. Now, like I said, I do think that the DWHC is supposed to receive some updates, but we'll have to wait till that when that comes out. And yeah, but annoyingly, yeah, it was actually a year ago, or not, well, just over a year, or just less than a year ago, they announced the remaster on the dovetail direction they did last year and stuff, and well, here we are now. As my headphones need to be adjusted. Here we are now coming towards the end of Trains World 5's lifespan, and yep, now the remaster at this point doesn't look like it's gonna come out until after Trains World 6, so yeah. Plus, I did consider doing this Petroleum thing on that route, but like I said, it's old, so. Another thing worth noting, though, I also want this to be its own little mini-series where I actually got all 5 of the Skylock Games Cargo Line packs because yeah, this is actually Cargo Line Volume 1, and yes, there are other Cargo Line Volume packs. HST! Hang on. Yeah. Yeah. That's the reason why I come to 12 as well, because I like my HSTs. But yeah, I actually want this to be its own little mini-series because, like I said, there are, multiple different cargo line packs. Currently we actually have 4 of them, and there's a 5th one currently on the way. Yeah, so this is Cargo Line Volume 1, which is focused on petroleum, so tanker cars. I believe there's also a intermodal pack, though, as well, and there's also a military pack that came out not so long ago as well. And Cargo Line Volume 5, which is set to come out, I guess, after Transport 6, or I should say, Volume 5! Is going to be focused around, nuclear deliveries, so that'll be interesting. I forget what Volume 2 was about. I think it was like a hopper wagon, though. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I do eventually plan on playing all of the Cargo Line volumes here on this channel. Well, it won't be as frequent as the American Freightroutes, though, because the Cargo Line packs are kind of samey, though, in terms of, like, which engines you can drive. You know, it's mainly the 66, though, although I think on the, I think for the military pack, though, you actually drive the Class 47, because that pack is for the, West Coast Mainline Preston to Carlisle route, and the nuclear pack is going to be utilizing the Class 20, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, for the moment, though, yeah, and even saying that, though, the next Cargo Line video that I do probably won't be until after Trains Sim World 6 comes out. But I figured, you know, I got some space, I may as well do this pack today. Come to that stop here. Now, I must be wondering, though, why am I doing Trains Sim World video this week? Another trains video. Well, because I don't really know what to do next for a Train Simulator 2 video. Or Train Simulator 3 video. I was, oh, here we go. Yeah, the brakes, they take a while to release on this thing, so, yeah. Gotta give these things a minute. Of course, the other light turns yellow. There we go. Okay, now we're moving. I like the sounds on these, actually. It isn't, no creaking. It sounds really realistic. And yeah, why does every single service I do have to have a stop-start commuter train in front? Oh. I can't see him now. Well, good riddance. Speaking of which, we have another 158 coming along here as well. Yeah, there's our train. And there's the 158. Yeah. I actually drove the 158 not too long ago on the recently released Manchester Airport route. Because they had some interesting services there, and I actually did I actually drove the ScotRail, or at least the ScotRail 158, But I did paint it in. I did get a paint job for it in the Northern Livery to make it realistic. Another HSG. Yes. I'll make sea traffic on this route. Yeah. I like the Class 66 though. It's a nice modern UK freight locomotive. Although, saying that, these things are very widely used over here in Frankston. Well, I mean, there's so many packs that have this thing in them. It's ridiculous. So, yeah. It's kind of like the double cycle exactly where they just use them, you know. I mean, that being said, the Class 66 is a very numerous freight locomotive in the UK, but some variety would be nice now and again. Alright, now about to get to a barrel upon Soar. I am trying to spot that 150 that was in front, but I can't see him. Oh, there he is. He's just at the next station. Oh. Almost let the Mercy brake cam on. That wouldn't have been good. So, Class 66. Have I ever done this on a video, by the way? Not sure. Because I know there's also some variants of Class 66 over in Train Simulator 3. In fact, actually, Mr. Approach Train, I guess Matthias, as he's known in Discord, he actually made an updated version of the... Or, no, actually not an updated version. He just made a whole new Class 6 for Train Simulator 3 not so long ago. Well, that's only available as a standalone add-on, so I'll be waiting until whenever he includes that in a route or something. And speaking of which, it's actually been a really long while since we've last gotten a UK route over in Train Simulator 3. I think the last one was the Swiftwood branch route, which released all the way back in late 2023. Well, right at the end of 2023, so it's been a while. Very long while, actually. And yeah, one thing I should mention that, yeah, I'm actually a really big fan of UK trains. I just find them to be very interesting, you know? Okay, is that guy left yet? Yes, he has. Is that the dead man's handle going off? The beep 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 noise? I want to turn that off. Oh. Oh, here we go. Each CCS fuse off. There we go. Alright, good. I'm okay with AWS, but the ECS is annoying to me. I don't care if I don't get a gold medal for this. So I guess what I'm thinking of the Midland Mainline route, because like I said, I have driven this a few times. I just wish it was longer. You know, that's the problem with a lot of these trains and world routes. They actually make for good concepts, but the problem is that the route length often just kind of lets them down a little bit, you know what I mean? Like this route, it's really only about, what, 30 miles from one end to the other, you know, from Lancaster to one of the three branches you can go on. I thought I turned off that stupid thing. Where on earth is the... I can't find it. Alright, well, I guess we have to put up with it then for the duration of this journey. Oh, and the fog has just rolled in. Huh. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, we now have fog. Dynamic weather, am I right? Yeah, I remember that when I was I can't speak English anymore. Remember that was a big new thing? Yeah, I remember very well, because they talked all about it when they announced Transport 3, like, ooh, now we find dynamic weather! Yay! And I still remember how big of a letdown that game was, honestly. I really thought that Train Simulator 3 was going to be the one. And no, it wasn't. Although, At this point, though, I don't think any train sim will ever be the one because we're never gonna have multiplayer, so... Yep. Waiting until the day that SimReal inevitably takes over. But at least here you get more of a demonstration of it. Do you know what's funny about that, by the way? I never play with dynamic weather turned on, honestly, because I don't like it. Honestly, dynamic weather, I think, is, it's just not very realistic. You know, it's kind of weird, so... Yeah, for this reason, I never play with it on, like, the time to mode. Although, when you play some scenarios, though, it's actually a thing by default, so, yeah. Well, there you go. It's from a nice sunny day to now thick fog. How about it? What's more 660s over there? But yeah, I just wish this route was longer because, again, it comes with the HST, and you can get the HST up to 125 miles per hour on this route. Like you can get up to a really high speed, but the problem is that this route is so short that the journey is over within like half an hour. It just doesn't last long. And the thing is, when I drive high-speed trains, I like to drive them a really long way. You know, I like to drive them for hundreds of miles, potentially. Because that's the point of a high-speed train. It's the whole point of a high-speed train is to travel long distances in a short period of time. But the problem is that here in Train Sim World, there's hardly any routes you can really actually do that. Like, I'd say the closest thing we have here in Train Sim World to a long-distance high-speed route is the Castle Wurzburg route. And I never really drive that route that often because I just find it boring. Yeah. And even that's a route that they could have benefited from being even longer than it was. Like, it was 115 miles, which again is still makes it the longest route in Train Sim World, but again, should have been even longer. But at this point, though, I don't think the will be able to figure out how to make like a super long route for Train Sim World at this point, you know. Even over Transmit Classic, again, we had the West Coast Mainline from London to Birmingham. That's a nice long trip for the Classic de Pendolino. But then here at Train Sim World, it goes as far as Milton Keynes, so it's only half the journey. It's just not adequate. And at this point, if you think about it, I think the only way that Dovetail really could, or any developer could make a really long route for this game is if they like take an existing route and they like extend it, like we did with the Southeast SP extended route, you know. Which ironic was also a Train Sim World 3 product. Oh, the other second closest thing though is the West Mainline Preston to Carlisle route. That route's 100 and that's more like 90 miles long. Well, I think the total route is like 105 miles, something like that. Although, like I said, the main line from Preston to Carlisle is 90 miles long. Saying that, though, I do find that route to be a lot more interesting than Castle Wurzburg, because, yeah, I actually really enjoy driving the, West Mainline Preston to Carlisle, because, you know, that route, of course, signals are being weird. Yeah, I find that to be really interesting, because that's the 1980s British setting, and I actually get quite a lot of a jump of using the tap change system on the Class 87 and 86. I've actually driven both of those. But, yeah, we should get longer routes in this game. I guess also East Coast Mainline Peterborough to Doncaster, but again, that's another boring route I don't really enjoy. Again, I think I've said this before, but if they wanted the East Coast Mainline, they should have done London to Peterborough. That would have been a so much better route. But in the end, they went with Peterborough to Doncaster. I'm guessing because it had, you know, less stations, so it's easier. Where are we at anyway? Holy moly, we're actually halfway. Wow, that went by really fast, actually. probably a break here because we're still on to 40 miles per hour here. Alright, it's just the brakes fully now. Just a bit more braking. Come on. There we go. Oh, HST! How about it? Hey, so look how fast that guy's going. What was it? Go that fast for much longer. Oh, I don't know much to share in terms of news. Although we're now just about a month away now from the Dovetail Directs, which like I said I'm still looking forward to. Yeah, I haven't really said anything about what else is coming though. For Train Sim 6 though. So yeah. Oh, of course we have gotten the Is it raining? Oh, it's just fog. Okay. We did get the Class 86 locomotive though, which like I said, I have driven that one already, and I found that one to be really nice. Pretty soon we'll also be getting the Class 170 pack for the Birmingham Cross City Line, which I do plan on playing as well. And will likely be the final pack for Train Sim 5 ever, will be the Castleworsburg Game of Back for the BR101 Expert, which I also plan on playing as well. Not on the channel though, but in my spare time. Oh. And Focus suddenly disappeared. Yeah. I will say this though, my next video will be on Train Sim 3. Yeah. What the video will be though, well, let's say that the next video on Train Sim 3 is either going to be a new route if one comes out, or it's going to be a route I've looked at before again. So yeah. But I figured this one would be different enough. You know, we just did an American freight train. But I figured I would do another Train Sim video. Let's do a British freight train. And yeah, I do plan on covering more of the cargo line volumes in the near future. And I want to do them in order. So next will be cargo line volume 2, then volume 3, 4, and 5 when that comes out. Although I suspect the cargo line volume 5 will probably come out later this year. Probably soon after Train Sim 6 comes out. Oh, another pack as well. I mentioned this actually last time. Another pack I'm waiting on is the Santa Fe gameplay pack. I will say this though. I will be doing a video on that pack for Con Pass as soon as that comes out, since that's the last of the American freight routes I need to check out. And yes, we've just made pretty good progress on that. So we've now covered 4 of the 6 routes. So yeah, like I said, next Train Sim 5 video will be the Horseshoe Curve route, and then I will do Con Pass. Like I said, as soon as the Santa Fe gameplay pack comes out. Probably at some point in October. Sometime around then. I don't know. We'll see. I am cruising only at 30 miles per hour. I could go, actually, I could go up to 75 if I want to, but obviously because I'm following a commute train, so yeah, I'm going quite a bit slower. Well, for a freight train, this actually isn't that bad. Actually, am I crazy? Because they're not going that fast, or not going that slow. I think maybe because of what we drove last week, though, because last time when we were on the Cane Creek route, we were actually able to go to 25 miles per hour for the whole journey, and that kind of felt kind of slow. Here we're going 35 or 37 more specifically, so it feels a bit more quicker. And not to mention we're on a route with more traffic as well. You know, it's not just out, it's just us in the middle of nowhere on a single track well, not even a main line, single track branch line. No, now we're on a quad track main line, so there's more opportunities for seeing some trains, such as this one. Oh, it's another freight train. No kidding, another Class 66 hauling tanker cars. How about it? Yeah. Ah, he's got the green ones. Nice. I like green. Ah, sorry, trained in hours though. Okay, we're coming up on the East Midlands Parkway, so pretty much be turning off to wherever we're going. So yeah, Midland Mainline is a decent route, I guess, but it would have benefited from being a lot longer. I did try to get the Midland Mainline route over in Transmit Classic, although I still haven't bothered to touch the Transmit Classic version yet. Maybe I will at some point, though. I don't know. But we'll see. Alrighty then. Well, we're going along here pretty well. Again, I'd like to do the speed limit here, but because of all these signals, yeah, we're only really able to go up to this speed because, you know. Because I'd rather go slow here than drive up the speed limit constantly. Have to, you know, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. That's a little bit annoying. I'd rather just run at one constant speed and, like, drive way below the speed limit. Like, we're doing 40 miles per hour here, but at least it means I don't have to constantly speed up and slow down. Or I can just keep adjusting the throttle and be just fine. Yeah, so the means for there. I have actually downloaded some of the other cargo line packs. But yeah, I think cargo line Volume 2 probably won't happen until after Train Sim 6 comes out. Although, we'll see. I don't know, maybe I might cover Volume 2 before Train Sim 6 comes out, but we're going to have to see what the final release date, though, is going to be for Train Sim 6, which obviously will be announced on the Dovetail Direct stream, because based on the date of the Dovetail Direct stream that will be happening in late August, it tells me that Train Sim 6 stuff will be coming out in late September, like, towards the end of the month. Like, yeah, because the Dovetail Direct stream is going to be happening on a Tuesday, August 26th, I think it was. I don't remember. I remember which date it was. And then I suspect that the Train Sim 6 Standard Edition will come out exactly 4 weeks later, like Train Sim 5 did. I think Train Sim 4 was well, a similar release cycle. But it might be a little bit sooner, it might be a little bit later. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. But we'll find out in just about a month from now. But yeah, personally, I'm still really looking forward to it, though. And, yeah, I'm interested to see whatever they announce. I did talk about in the last video, though, about what kind of stuff we could see in Train Sim 6, but as for where it's going to see, well, like I said, I still gotta find out. Some sort of nuclear plant, or I think it's nuclear, I actually have no idea. Actually, I keep seeing those things, and I keep saying, oh, nuclear, but actually it's not nuclear, it's, or maybe it is. I have no idea. Yeah, I'm a bit stupid. Oh, no, let me know what you think of the Midland Mainline route. Would you like to see me revisit it at some point, plus I drive the HST at full speed? Yeah. Well, if that's something you want to see, I might look into it for the future. Is that a single yellow? Yeah, it is. Which means that we're going to have to prepare for the red light coming up in a bit. Near the power station, I guess. Is there a train there, by the way? Oh no, that might be because of the Go Via marker. Okay, I don't want to come to a complete stop this time, though. Come on. Bit of power, come on. Yeah, like I told you, these brakes take forever to release in these things. Why is the light red? Yeah, we're supposed to go in this way, so... Hope it's because of that go via marker. Okay, power. I don't want to go too fast though, just in case. Of course, marker's midway through the platform. I hate when a game does that, though. Okay, well, I'm cruise at 15 miles an hour. Or 18. This game sometimes. Again, the light might change to green once we pass through this marker, but I don't know about that for sure. It might stay red. Is there a train? IHST arriving. I can't even come to complete stop though. I gotta be really careful though with the brakes on these things. Oh, so let's see his HST. Okay, so what happens when we go over this marker here? Let's see. This is going slow so I can get on the brakes again if I have to. Oh no, sure enough, the light is staying red. Okay. Alright, so turns out that my decision that come to solve was actually a good one. Now, so here we are at... Come on. Ah, East Midlands Parkway. Nice. Yeah. I was the VP-185 version of the HST, which is primarily run by the East Midlands Trains Railway. It's also got the 3 lights in the front. I think there was also some MTU versions of the HST with the 3 headlights, although most of the MTU ones have 2 headlights. So, yeah. And there he goes. That was my favorite writing as well. Yeah, there's the 158. Okay, well, I guess whenever the it turns green, because I noticed that we're actually taking the same route as where the HST is going, but I guess we gotta wait till it gets out of our way, then we'll be able to continue our own journey. Which has been a couple minutes. And yeah, glad that I slowed down for the red there, because I was kind of like coming through at full speed. But yeah, it turns out that my decision to not do that was a wise one. And let's see if we can continue. Alright. And actually, you might be able to... Oh, there goes the 158. And actually, we might actually be able to hit the line speed for the first time in this scenario today because they were following an HSC, which of course is a lot faster than a 158. Because, well, to the 158 is also a pretty fast train, but it constantly is making stops. Whereas HSC being an express train, makes stops a lot less frequently. In fact, I think he lets you go all the way up to Derby without stopping even once, so... Yeah, thank goodness for that. Also, I want to go back to talk about Skyhook for a minute because, like I said, this route they're driving on right now is the most recent route they've made, and even then, this route came out 2 years ago, back in 2023, all the way back in the Train Sim 3 era. And as I downloaded this route when it first came out, but I don't know why they haven't made a route since. You know, I think ever since about all I've done is just make the cargo line packs and some other DLCs. Oh, we got specifics in the locomotive, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I wonder if we're ever gonna get a Skyhook route ever again. Although it might be a while though, because at the moment there's none on the roadmap. Like yeah, there's no like Skyhook routes or anything on the roadmap at the moment. It's all well, no, yeah, at the moment the only Skyhook on the roadmap at the moment is the cargo line filling 5-pack. So maybe they do have another route in development though, but we don't know about it yet. We'll see. Here we go. Okay, well, all I have to do is go to almost said Derby Workstation, then Derby itself, and then once we're done with the scenario. Why's the track all glitched out over there? That looks so weird. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, that doesn't look very good at all, does it? But yeah, I wonder if we'll ever get a Skyhook whatever again. Maybe at some point, but who knows. Although, even saying that though, technically this isn't entirely a Skyhook product because we've got the Class 66 locomotive, which is actually a dovetailed locomotive, and actually utilizes sounds made by Armstrong Powerhouse. Yeah. Yeah, it's from Dovetail when they launched Train Sim 3 and they were developing the Southeast and SP Extended route. I guess when they bought the sounds from Armstrong Powerhouse and put them here into the Train Sim version. And on the I have actually driven the Armstrong Prowl CS Class 66 over in Transfer Classic, and yeah, at least from what I can tell, Dove Tux did a pretty good job at translating the Armstrong sounds over here to Train Sim Worlds. Okay, see how fast we can go here on this last section of the route. Yes. Alright, full power. Oh, careful. Okay, I guess I'm full power. I'm a little bit tired, yeah. Woke a bit tired this morning, but oh well. Well, I tell you what though, I might still not be able to reach this line because of this heavy load. Come on. Yeah. Now pass through Long Eaton. Alright then, 7 miles to Dirt. Can't believe I said Derby at first, but I was saying Derby for some reason. Derby Works Junction. Ooh, another 158. Yeah, there's some speed now. Oh, also, this is actually the clean version of the Class 66 in AWS livery. Because actually, most of the routes, I'm saying most of them, some of the routes actually, where they actually include the Class 66 is actually in the AWS dirty version. Oh, saying that they'll most recently include the Class 66 in the, I say most recently. Well, most to my knowledge, it includes this livery or this engine in the West Coast Mainline, London Milton Keynes route. And over there, it was actually in a plain DB red livery. Here's some of this engine was actually initially released in the in DB Shanker red when it was released all those years ago for the what was it, the West West Express route, and they said it did AWS delivery after the fact. It was funny you were able to do some speed here, another flyby. Nice. Well, yeah, finally be able to reach pretty good speed here. And about 5 miles to go, although Actually, where's the works? Hold up. Oh. That's where the station is. Okay, good. There's like game glitch there for some reason. Well, then, not much to talk about at this point, although we're almost there at the end of this scenario. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit different for a change. You know, still a freight train, but a UK freight train. Because I've been strictly doing American content. But I figured I'd try something British, see if you guys find interested in that. As I did plan on covering all the cargo line packs as time goes on. Because something worth noting though is that I've never personally checked out any of the cargo line packs before. Actually, like they've been coming out with them for quite a while now, but I've never like played any of the scenarios or driven in the timetable. It's just been, yeah. So here are they, cargo line, Petroleum. Yeah. That's a pretty cool screenshot there. Well, of course, you have to obscure it. Most of us have all been green. I wish they had that Khmer train in front of us at the beginning, but as it eventually went away. And yeah, not much else to talk about at this point. Yep. And yeah, like I said, the next transfer video will be the Oach Curve route. So yeah, the last of the 3 routes that Skyhawk released. Anyways, maybe whenever Skyhawk makes another route, I might check that one out in a video if I find it interesting. I think after the Horse Curve though, Horse Curve video though, we'll be likely be back to Dovetail products, as I think it's actually been primarily Dovetail games have actually been making American content. You know, I mean, I kind of had dabbled into it, you know, a couple times, but I wonder if I'll ever get like an actual proper American developer to make American content for this game. I mean, if I hire, we do have high-iron simulations who are making the Santa Fe gameplay pack. They're an American developer making an American thing. So, I don't know, maybe if High Iron never get into making routes, I'd be interested to see what they can come up with. I keep forgetting about these brakes. Come on. Come on, I don't want to come to a grinding halt again. There we go. I just want to get to the red light and then stop. Alright, come to the red. Here's the Derby Works. What will we see here? Alright, seeing 158 in the sightings there. I've seen the layers though. Yeah, nothing since the Class 37. I guess in case you're wondering, yeah, both the East Midlands trains and or local trains, the HST and the 158 are both included with this route. Okay, well, don't come to a complete stop yet. This train sure weighs a lot, doesn't it? And this is a fully loaded train. Okay. And light's still red. Okay, then. So who are we waiting for this time? Oh, completely this track? Oh, wait for this guy to depart. Okay. Another HST. A lot of HSTs, though. There's basically this many of them on this route. You know how busy this route. I'm surprised they don't electrify and start running electric trains on this route. Because it's still all diesels. There it goes. And we're now clear to go. Okay, just a little bit of throttle. Just until we can overcome the braking force. Yep. Come on. There we go. Alright, stop at Derby and then we are done. Well, it's a pretty fun scenario. I liked having all the AI. Well, okay, I didn't like being stuck behind the AI trains, but I like seeing them going in the opposite direction and stuff. But like I said, difference between driving on a busy main line and a middle of nowhere branch line. Well, Hershey Curve should also be interesting as well, because that's also a main line with a lot of traffic on it. Mostly freight traffic, but traffic nonetheless. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to Hershey Curve in a couple of weeks or so. Yeah, something to realize, it's pronounced Darby, but spelled as Derby. Why? Because it's funny, when I think of the word Derby, I think of Demolition Derby. You know, like what they do at, you know, some of races where they have, like, car crashes and stuff, if you know what I mean. I didn't mean to bump my mouse there. But no, it's funny. Actually, even in Top Gear, when they say Demolition Derby, they say Demolition Derby, which I've just realized how weird that is. Actually, yeah. So wait a minute, is Derby just the American pronunciation of Darby, and then Darby's just the way to say it? I actually have no idea. Maybe Derby is the correct pronunciation as an American. I don't know. I'm just gonna say it is Darby though, just because that's the name of the station or town, I guess. But that being said, though, like, let's say if I say the word Demolition Derby, I'm gonna say it as Derby because that's what I'm used. That's what I'm used to, being an American. And man, we're going slow, aren't we? Pretty empty station though. Is that realistic? Actually, no. And here we are, then, our final destination. Well, let me know what you think of the Midland Main route. Would you like to see me do more on this route? Because maybe I'll do an HT at some point, but we'll see. And there's also some other cargo line scenarios for this route, although I'm gonna do my best to make sure that for every cargo line volume I cover, I'm gonna make sure they're all on different routes. So yeah, I think cargo line 2 might take place over on Southeastern High Speed. So we'll see how that goes. We'll get to it. Okay, well, we're gonna stop a little bit short of the marker, but it doesn't matter. Good enough. Alright, thanks, Trevor. A local crew will take the train out to Chattiston Yard and back into the Sinfin signage from here. Alrighty then. So, yep, that is it for our duty. And, oh, I still got a platinum medal. How about that? And, yeah, that will do it for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.